the government, and I now expect more robust opposition to be present in the parliament and throughout this term. But let's see what will happen, and we must move, especially with some of the new members that will join the parliament. It let's just say it's gonna get quite interesting. It's gonna get interesting. But that's that, and we move this morning inside the I don't even say good morning yet. Good morning to you, our listeners out there on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9. If you're listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. And if you are listening from our mobile app, which is available on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, morning to you as well. Those on our website, the Listen Now option there, top of the morning to you as well. I'm seeing Marigold Weber coming in the YouTube chat, Monique Hunter, Daddy War, good morning to you. Godson, good morning to you. KMC, Sonia Hutton, and everybody just rolling in the YouTube chat. Top of the morning to you. I want to say thank you to Tana, who was filling in for me earlier this week. As you guys know, we are currently transitioning where our location is concerned, and so we have to try to work it out based on the two different locations, but we're making it happen for you. All right, so this morning we are having some challenges with our phone lines. If you do not know, we got a hit by a lightning strike last night, in the midst of the election coverage. Couldn't come at a worse time. And then there were also challenges with our telecoms providers, Flow and Digicel. They reported vandalism, and so their networks were affected across the island, and so that also affected our coverage as well. But we made do, and I think we made it work up to the final word from the Prime Minister last night. I have an advisory here from both telecoms providers. Flow Jamaica is reporting that all of the areas affected by Wednesday's severe act of vandalism that disrupted internet, landline, and TV services for numerous customers in the areas of St. Catherine, Maypen, and Mandeville, those have been restored. Persons still experiencing outage in these areas are asked to reach out to Flow Jamaica, and also Digicel Jamaica is confirming that home internet, mobile, and TV services have been fully restored following the disruption caused by an act of vandalism to their connectivity partners' fiber network. And so they sincerely thank customers for patience and understanding while the teams worked tirelessly to complete repairs. And they are strongly condemning the reckless acts that disrupted the lives of families, businesses, and communities who rely on connectivity every day. So that's the word from Digicel and Flow. So the vandalism that affected Flow also affected Digicel, because if you don't know, they both share some of those lines. So that act of vandalism affected connectivity across several sections of the island, and they are letting us know that those have been restored. But if you are still experiencing outages, then please contact Flow so that they can see what's happening in your neck of the woods. So the phone lines are down. Essentially, they are down, and so we won't be able to take any calls from our regular lines at the moment. I believe we're going to try to work something out with another number. I will let you know that number as soon as possible, but we will let you know what's happening with the phone lines as soon as they are back up. But you can always reach out via our YouTube chat. It is live and active, so if you have any consumer related matters, reach out in the chat and we will try our best to assist you from there. But the number that you can call if you want to speak to me during the consumer hour this morning is 876 286 280 6629. That's 280 6629. 876 280-6629 is the number to call if you have any consumer related matters. Please note that our regular lines are not up. We're gonna take a break.
Need fast, reliable delivery? Speed Services has you covered. We offer air freight 2 times weekly and sea freight once a week. Perfect for getting your packages to Jamaica fast. Just visit speedshipja.com. That's speed with 3 E's. Need a bearer, food delivery, or local delivery for your business? Call or text 876-484-8850 and follow us on Instagram at speedshipja. That's speed with 3 E's. Speed Services, where speed meets service.
Corian Solid Surface, so versatile and beautiful. It's non-porous, no sealing necessary, renewable and repairable, so easy to clean and maintain, and can be thermoformed into any shape. Choose Corian, the #1 solid surface in the world, when you want beauty and the best for your countertop. Visit Home International Limited, located at 104 Constance Ring Road. Telephone 755-1970
or 276-6448.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Keep the applause going for the Tokyo Bronze medalist. Let's welcome Megan Tapper.
To every single one of you, I am so grateful. Big up on yourself. This is not just for me. This is for you guys.
Megan Tapper is a 4-time national champion and still wears the tag as the only Jamaican woman to win a medal in the 100 meters hurdles at the Olympic Games. A major feat when you consider the country's rich history in the event. In September, she goes back to the scene of that historic achievement, the Tokyo National Stadium, where she took bronze in 2021. Only this time looking for more precious silverware, and this time at the World Championship.
Going really well on the near side, Megan Tapper. Megan Tapper storming away with this one, takes it.
Tapper has been in supreme form this season after slamming a world-class field to win the national title.
Megan Tapper goes in lane 6, won the Jamaican Championship 2 weeks ago in a personal best. She's in 5-4.
She again took apart the best in the world to win in the Monaco Diamond League, equaling her lifetime best.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Norige Banton, and we are inside the Consumer Hour taking your calls this morning. Please note, however, that our regular phone lines are down for a bit, so we are taking calls, but just on a different number. So the number to call this morning is 280-6629. The number once again to call this morning is 280-6629. If you have any consumer related matters, you can give us a call and we'll try our best to see if we can assist you. And for our listeners out there, we are aware that our signal is down on several platforms. We are trying our best to get that back up. I see someone saying there is the audio is not good on the app, or the app is down. We are trying our best to get everything back up. We got hit by a lightning strike last night, and so that affected our operations here. But we are working. Believe we are working to get everything back up on stream as soon as possible. So the phone lines 280-6629. Well, the phone line, one line 280-6629. Those are that is the number to call if you have any consumer related matters. Just to a point from me from the elections yesterday, the voter turnout. Over the years, we have, I believe, been seeing a decline in voter turnout at general elections each year, and I think it is concerning. Excuse me. It's not something that we pay much attention to. It's not something that we look at when the election, because most people, you're looking at who win, who no win, who win them seat, who lose them seat, the orange, the green, the sprinkles of purple, and the absence of the blue. Everybody is looking at the colors and the main, parties. But the voter turnout, I think, is concerning. Now, the Gleaner has a bar graph, excuse me, here, with the voter turnout over the years, and it was at its highest in 1980, at its lowest in 1983, and I think after 1989 we've been steadily, going down and down, fluctuating here and there by a couple percentage points, but going down. 1993, 60, 1997, back up a little bit at 65%. 2002, 50, 59, 2007, just a little at 61. Down again in 2011, 53. Down again in 2016, 48. Down again in 2020, 37. And this year, the ECJ is saying 39.5% voter turnout, which is just a little above what voter turnout was last year. But it's not going back up, in any significant way. And I think it is important that we look at that. we pay attention to the amount of Jamaicans coming out to exercise that right to vote. Because it means something for democracy. If a minority of the population is deciding such a major thing, it's concerning. Why aren't the others coming out to vote? Why aren't the persons who are registered to vote coming out to vote? Can everybody registered for vote, you know? I promise you have big people out there in them big age where they never depend on a voters list ever in them life. Why is that? Why the people them don't go collect them ID? Because that's also something that held up the voting process. And we saw messages coming into our news center where people are saying, them turn back, them stand up in the line too long and them turn back. Them go home. I believe it's something that we need to look at in a very, very serious way. I don't remember at what time during the day yesterday it was being said, but suggestions were being made as to how we can ensure that whatever we need on the voter's ID is tied to something else so that you can just go vote. You will already have that piece of document, and I think that's what NIDS is trying to alleviate. Don't know when that will happen. Well, the government is back in, so I guess they'll press gas at it. But 39.5% voter turnout is disappointing. Where the rest of people them there? Them not care what going on in Jamaica. Or them vote there in Mobi and them live at Kingston and them just can't bother to change the address. Several things at play. Who knows? Alright, so it seems as if we're also having alright. So it's gonna be an interesting morning. Because the none of our phone lines are up at the moment. I don't know, maybe we can create a Zoom link. I don't know what's happening. But we'll be here with you, and of course you can weigh in the YouTube chat, and we'll definitely engage there. I see someone in the chat saying, I have never been registered to vote when I was in Jamaica because I just didn't see anyone fit, but I would have voted if I was still there. Carlene Smith say they stay at Sumfest all night though. With that said, the process was tedious, but I wasn't going to leave. So Caroline is saying people stand up at Sumfest all night, but them don't want to stand up for staying on the line. I don't know if it's the same people, Caroline. I can't say it's the same people that stand up at Sumfest not standing up in the line, but there is an issue, because when I went to vote, I was third in line at my polling station. Third in line. When I went there was someone inside and the process had already started for that person. That person was actually the indoor agent. So she was there waiting to vote. For go sit down back, for go do our work. When I came there, she was at the table and they were engaging her. So her process had already started. And I kid you not, she was there for another 10 minutes. I don't know if he swear she was swearing because I was in the sun for a moment and then I had to just step to the side. I couldn't see what was happening after that. About 10 minutes she was there. Back and forth. I don't know what they were doing till they eventually gave her the ballot sheet. She voted and they came back. The man who was in front of me, he went. He took about 5 to 7 minutes. Don't know what was happening. And then the supervisor for the location, the supervisor came in and it seemed as if she was giving some further instructions to the workers inside, because it seemed as if they were new. So she was telling them, you don't have to ask the people for the ID because the electronic voter identification system was at that location. So the fingerprint was working. So she was saying, you don't have to ask the person for their ID because the system is there. Just ask them for their name and whatever and, check or whatever. That man voted. When I went in, she started the process, asked me for my name and da-da-da. And still asked me for my ID after me hear the supervisor just tell her, I say, at the electronic system. She asked me for my ID, so I give her my ID. She asked me to put my fingerprint. That took a little while. And then, to tear the ballot paper, it was clear to me at this point that it was probably her first time. Because it took a while for her to fold the thing to where the perforated edge was for tear the ballot paper properly. And then she, the process moved after that, because after that, the ball was in my court. Figure just go mark my X and come back and dip my finger, make sure them put it in and go. And I did that as quickly as possible. But I heard each report that came into our news center, long lines, long wait. And I'm wondering what caused that. I heard some workers saying the people them will come without them ID. Not sure what was happening there. I don't know if there's a way that we can get around the swearing process to ensure that even if you don't have your ID, there's some other way, and I guess that's through the electronic voter identification system, the EVIS, but that's not everywhere. And I don't know how quickly we're going to get that at all our polling stations. That's going to take us some time because, of course, them things there cost money, and we don't have money wagga put on for buy 1 million EVs. So there's that. But lots of concerns. You can continue sharing. When we come back from the break, I'll go through the YouTube comments. Lots of persons weighing in on the process to vote. After the break, we'll read more of your comments.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:31.
You know what's sweet? The new pack Sweet Living promotion. Win great prizes. Living room set, or bedroom set, or kitchen appliance set. Plus 2 consolation prizes of AC units. Send in 5 new pack labels or receipts. Labels must belong to at least the new pack canned beans or peas, new pack ketchup, and new pack oil categories. Fill out the tagline. New pack, more than just value. Place your entry in one of the drop boxes at participating outlets. Enter by mail or online at newpackjamaica.com. Time for Live Sweet. Enter the new pack Sweet Living promotion. July 13th to September 6th. See the press for more details. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Move with Murenzu at Burt's Auto Parts and get 15% off Murenzu products, including radiators, air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, tie rod ends, rack ends, ball joints, and stabilizer links. Keep your car performing at its best with quality parts you can trust. This offer runs until September 20, 2025, so don't miss out. All you need to do is tell your sales rep the code. Hashtag Move with Murenzu15. Move smart. Move with Murenzu. Only at Burt's Auto Parts. It hurts if you don't check Burt's.
This is the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Tina Clayton heads to her first World Senior Championships as the national champion of Jamaica.
Bang out quickly. Fraser Price is out well. So to Tina Clayton. Tina Clayton comes forward. So to the Sherika Jackson. Tia pulls up. Tina's still there. Tina Clayton. Sherika Jackson and Shelly and Fraser Price. Tina Clayton gets the win of this evening.
An injury ravaged 2024 forced her to sit on the sidelines and watched as her twin sister Tia captured the headlines at her first global event, the Olympic Games in Paris. Tina is without question at the forefront of a group set to take Jamaica's female sprinting into the future.
Well, every athlete who wears that yellow vest in the sprints for Jamaica carries a certain responsibility, and at the moment Tina Clayton's carrying it very well, that she's a metre clear of the rest.
There can be no better place to start than at the World Championships. In addition to beating the likes of Shelly and Fraser Price and Sherika Jackson at the Nationals, Tina finished a creditable second at a meet in Hungary against the world-class field. Tina has got the two premier female sprinters in the world today in her sights, Melissa Jefferson Wooden and the Olympic champion Julian Alfred.
To stay healthy, that's the main focus for me. I feel really great, and I think everything that have happened this year is based on the setbacks that I had over the years, and sometimes, you know, when things ain't going right, you want to give up, but there's always a little voice to not give up.
The 20-year-old bows into action on the first day of competition in Japan.
Clayton there in lane 5. God bless got away well, but now Clayton's well into a running. Jackson's got something to do, but it's going to be Clayton who's running away from the field, and she's won this in emphatic fashion.
You can follow her progress on Nationwide 90 FM.
That was the World Championships Athletes Profile.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton. It's the Consumer Hour, and unfortunately this morning we should be taking your calls, but the phone lines are down. We had a major hit last night by a lightning strike, and that affected a major part of our systems, but the team, trust me, they're working to get it back up. But we've been having conversation. I say conversation because we're responding to me in the chat. So about the voting process, the process to vote, the voter turnout, all of that, and I did say I would read some of your comments when I come back from the break. Deb Brown says there is at least 50% of the population eligible to vote, but them now come vote. Errol Townsend said, true Nora, it's a Jamaica thing. Until some of us come to foreign, that's when we understand. And that's an interesting comment, because I see a lot of people saying, I've never voted, me never registered for vote, but me live a foreign now, but me da definitely voting at this election. Yeah, when you can't do it, when you're not here. So yeah, a lot of people, when they leave Jamaica, you see them saying, yeah, me never vote yet, but me would have vote now. Unfortunately, you aren't here. And I was on TikTok live on the night before the election, so that's September 2, the night of September 2, and I was scrolling and I saw it was dark outside in Jamaica, but on the TikTok live I saw a bus with some people in green collecting some shirts. Someone look me, I say, but at night, no, which part of Jamaica this? When me look good, Washington DC. Suppose on see the people them like any community of Jamaica drive up and them a collect shirt. One whole heap of people in a green and a ring bell. I'm like, what is happening here? I promise you, I was so confused for about 2 minutes, because I knew it was dark outside, but when me I watch it live, it bright. But based on what happened, based on the activity in the live stream, may I say, but this supposed to be Jamaica, so Jamaica is supposed to go on. But yeah, the diaspora, trust me, very active. Unfortunately, many of them did not come back to vote, but we saw a number of them coming back to cast their vote. Kimar Henry says they need to make it mandatory for persons living at different addresses for over a year to change the address on their national ID. Maybe it's something the ECJ will have to initiate in their system, where every year they have a team. Maybe it's something that they can get some summer interns to do, just to go through the list and just follow up with persons if you're still at this address, and change it on the system if it's not correct, and generate the new ID and have those persons come for their ID. That's an option, I think. But if you are living in a certain place, if you move from Mobile from your 18 and you have your ID with your Mobile address and you're there Kingston now, and you're 25 years old, 27, 28, 30, go change a thing, man. And it's a simple process, it's a very simple process. You find your the office in your constituency, the ECJ office in your EOJ office in your constituency. Let them know that you are living at a new address. They change the address on the system. A process is initiated where they schedule a time with you where they would need someone to come visit your home address to check if you are living there for real. Once they come, ask for you, you're there, that is it. Your ID ready, them tell you when you can come pick up your ID. Simple process. And the process is very simple to get one if you don't have one. So guys, don't make the next election come and me here say for the ID them still there, the EOJ office them, and people address still wrong. Alright? Tamu Good says, Nora, I'm glad you went to vote as a young person. Great example. And I was so heartened as well to see all the inked fingers on my social media. Every scroll is a purple finger, may I see? And I was very heartened to see that so many young persons went out to vote. I also saw a lot of our social media influencers posting that they went out to vote, which is, I think, a good look and can influence, as their title suggests, social media influencers can influence other young persons to consider the process, and if they're not registered, get registered. But I know for a fact that I saw many persons saying that it was their first time as well. So I think maybe ECJ can extrapolate that data to see the amount of young persons who came out, I guess between probably 18 and 35, to see what that cohort of voters looked like for this election, and whether it went up compared to the election in 2020. Karen Nunes says, good morning, Nora. At the polling station I went to, they used just the fingerprint, and several polling stations across the corporate area at least had the electronic voter identification system. Deb Brown says, people would rather not vote than vote for somebody they don't like or unsure of, but I believe if they educate themselves on the parties, a decision can be made. So Deb Brown here seeming to just suggest that if persons are not sure about the candidate that's in their constituency, they can vote along party lines and see what the parties are doing or are proposing to do for the country, and vote along that line, which I think a lot of people do. Many people, I'm sure there are persons out there them don't know who the MP is running in them constituency, but them know say them a vote for Mark or them a vote for Andrew. A lot of people voted along those lines, and I know I'm not see nothing wrong with that. In any case, Judy Blake says to get the US visa, they would wait without a word. I mean, maybe they value a US visa more than their constitutional right to vote. Well, I can't speak for those people. Somebody else saying yes, they would standing embassy line though. Beetlejuice says Jamaicans really don't want to vote but want to see economic prosperity and money in their pockets. However, they're the first to complain when nothing happen. And that I agree with, and I think those persons who complain and can vote and don't vote, it's a special kind of, I don't know, weird in my mind. Because you have the option, the opportunity, the power to make a decision and possibly change things. You don't utilize it, and then you complain when things happen in the country that aren't going right or could go better. Me not believe in it. Go and vote, and then you have right to complain. But many would disagree with me. I'm not gonna read that one day, can you see? The US is a funny place right now. Simone Campbell says, I think you media people are to tell the people in layman's term how an economy works, for those who keep saying them not feeling anything instead of using big words like 2 plus 3 equal 5. I'm on the middle where that is concerned, and I see we're up on the break, and I'll take a break and come back with my thoughts on how we speak about the economy. I understand that we are getting some work with the phone line, so let's test this caller and see if we are back up. Hello, good morning, Cleveland.
How you doing?
Wow, clean. Good morning, Cleveland. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
It's even better to hear in front here talking with you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. Talk about whatever.
Yes, go right ahead.
Well, let me first of all congratulate my MP elect, Mrs. Flynn.
Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn, yes.
Yes. You did well, Mrs. Flynn. I'm happy for you. And these two candidates, Rhoda and Tova.
Tova, yes.
Is the people them do that for them, you know. The people themselves in the constituency.
Yeah.
Yes. They take over that part of it and like they say, leave it to the Rhoda and Tova.
We work it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm happy for them.
Yes, indeed.
Happy for them. But sorry for Anne-Marie.
And I see you probably don't see social media as much as I do, Cleveland.
Yes.
But trust me, it's the first I'm seeing a candidate that lost. Like, it's like the entire Jamaica, they behind her, and I say, no man, we have to fight for Anne. Like, I don't know, but I clearly people saw the evidence of her work. But we're gonna take a break, Cleveland. I'm gonna come right back to you.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:47.
The wait is over. Spark is coming to you. Across Jamaica, we'll be fixing 10 roads per constituency. Over 100 roads will be fixed by September and 630 roads overall. This is real action, real improvement, real results. Every Jamaican deserves safer, stronger roads. Spark, the next chapter in Jamaica's infrastructure development.
Need fast, reliable delivery? Speed Services has you covered. We offer air freight 2 times weekly and sea freight once a week. Perfect for getting your packages to Jamaica fast. Just visit speedshipja.com. That's speed with 3 E's. Need a bearer, food delivery, or local delivery for your business? Call or text 876-484-8850 and follow us on Instagram at speedshipja. That's speed with 3 E's. Speed Services, where speed meets service.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton, and we're taking your calls. We have managed to get the phone lines back up for the last few minutes of the program. Cleveland is on. Cleveland, you still there?
Yes, but what is happening now? It's going on and off.
Oh.
It's gone low.
Oh, you're not hearing me clearly?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
All right, so we can work through it, but you can finish up your point.
Yes, just want to congratulate the DLP government on a whole, and that most of us realize that we have to choose Jamaica to make Jamaica continue to be a better place.
Yes.
So congratulations to all the people who've been re-elected and so on. And we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we'll do it. The Prime Minister is capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Cleveland. Thank you so much for calling. We still have a bit of disturbance in the lines, but we're working on it. But just to go back to a few of the comments, I see people in the YouTube chat commenting on Anne-Marie Vaz's loss in Eastern Portland. And I was saying to Cleveland earlier, social media is such an interesting space, because as soon as it was declared that the PNP won that seat in Eastern Portland, the Attorney at Law, Isaac Buchanan, would be the next MP for Eastern Portland, social media erupted. People were either in disbelief, in shock. People are like, what happened? Calling the people of Eastern Portland traitors and all kind of names. And it went as far as I saw a WhatsApp group, a screenshot of a WhatsApp group for people who are going to help Anne-Marie dig up the road them back today. Now you tell me, people. Of course it's a joke. Of course she won't do that. And of course Jamaican people cannot go there, go dig up back the road them at Eastern Portland where Anne-Marie, help fix. But I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. And of course, me young, I'm not really experienced what the politics. But it was really, really crazy to me how social media just stood up in her defense. And they still are up to now. People on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everybody's like, what? How? This lady clearly did so much. And it is evident that even those who don't live in Eastern Portland, people were there, Westmoreland, Kingston, Hanover, all over the island, they think she did great work in Eastern Portland, and I think that's due to how well she showed the people what she was doing, how transparent she was in the work that she was doing in Eastern Portland. But there were a number of close seats. There was also Central Kingston that I think the JLP might send that all the way up to a magisterial recount, because that one, Central Kingston, really close. Dr. Norman Dunn, St. Mary, yeah, Dr. Norman Dunn seat. I'll soon give the constituency, but that too was also close. But I see someone here, excuse me, in the YouTube chat saying, Nora, social media can't vote. And that's the thing. During the lead up, Southeast St. Mary, Dr. Norman Dunn, another close seat that was won by the People's National Party. Leading up to the election, there was a lot of activity online, and increasingly so, more people are on social media. TikTok is a new thing that people are getting into, and there's a lot of chatter online. But I kept saying, watch the space, because many times these people are mere, as we call them, keyboard warriors. They don't go out on the day. The people who are online, they don't go out. I don't know how much that changed, and I'm gonna go by just what I saw with the amount of young people who I saw coming out. I'm gonna think it changed a little bit. But I always say, no watch social media. No watch social media. Because it can be an indication of what is happening, but it's not a sure indication. And I see someone saying, I have not condemned the people who spoke about digging up the road. And by all means, I did say that cannot be done. And I didn't think I need to condemn it, because I think it was clearly all jokes. But yes, that's definitely wrong to say it was the work for the people and it should remain there. It was not for a winning seat, or it should not have been to win a seat. It should have been for the people. And the road fixed for the people will keep the road. Can't go dig it up. But that's that. I promised to go back to the point of the economy just before we go. There was someone earlier in the YouTube chat saying that media houses need to do better at breaking down economic stability or whatever is happening in the economy to the people, so that it's not up in the air and people can definitely understand what is happening. But I think there are two parts to that. There's information out there, vastly, lots of information. But sometimes we don't take the time to sit ourselves down and try to read and understand. So I believe there's much information out there, lots and lots of information about the economy, broken down in ways that you can understand. But sometimes we just want it right. So we want somebody carried come in our eye and just put it in our ear, so we are put it right in front of our face so we can see it. The other side to it is that I think more can be done by the media, by the government, by other agencies to help the public understand what it means for them. So yes, there's macroeconomic stability. The GDP, rate, growth rate, all of that is happening, and it's all up there. Yes. But what does that mean for you, the mother with two children aged 15 and 7, going to school with your job where you get minimum wage, and you have to ensure that they go to school, they have all their books, they have the amenities that they need to do their homework properly? What does that mean for that mother? When she sit and watch the news and the government says, yes, there is macroeconomic stability, what does it mean for her? You understand? So the information is there, but we can do better, I think, at breaking it down. And I'm gonna say, and at the same time, people need to do better at informing themselves, because there's not a lack of information. So, I think that's all the time we have this morning for the Consumer Hour. We are gonna make way now for Cliff Hughes Online. And of course, you know, Cliff will be coming to you live from our news studios at Ocean Boulevard.